differences. So always, you don't have to aim to be a millionaire. You know, you just aim slowly. Have small goals which you can achieve. I hate it. I hate the. You know how? I'll tell you an interesting fact. Half the people that you even probably know, even yourselves, okay, you can include yourselves into this. Even myself, I can include myself into this. Is that we all make New Year's resolutions, okay? At times, oh, we're gonna do this this year. Okay, well, that's good. In a way, that's good actually. Because you know what? At the end of the year, that makes you sad. Half the people in the world are sad when they make New Year's resolutions because they don't achieve them. Okay, there's only I think a few percentage of people in the world who probably achieve what they actually write on paper. Okay, but what's gonna get you there? To me, in the morning, I wake up, I make a to-do list, and you know what I write? If I need to call you, I write you on the to-do list. So when I'm done calling you, I tick that off, and that motivates me. Okay, small stepping stones, small goals, you know? And that keeps you going, oh, you've done something. And when you get that feeling you're doing something,
Successful.
you're successful. Why? Because at the end, it's small things make big differences. I can make the goal, oh, I want to be multi-millionaire at the age of 40. Okay, what are the chances of that in the world, in probability? Okay, not that much to be honest, okay? Why keep that goal which you can't achieve? Because if you can't achieve it, that's going to bring your morale down. If that brings your morale down, you're down. You can't do anything in life then.
That's right.
Because the biggest thing is, I think the strongest person in life, be it a girl, be it a guy, is the guy who can have a fallback in life and then get up again. That requires courage, that requires self-esteem, that requires a high morale. Okay, and the only way that guy can have or that girl can have all these three things, if they're self-satisfied and they have small goals, and that is what's going to keep them going. Not becoming a millionaire, not becoming a CEO. Aim to get in, grow gradually.
Every big goal can be broken down
Slowly.
into small steps.
Everything should be broken down into small things. Everything. I tell my brothers, they're two younger brothers. One is about 18 and 17, right? They're going to the States for the first time alone now, right? They were born there, yes, but they've been in Pakistan for the last 10 years. So I've told them, listen, you need to be very tough and hard because life in the US is not easy. Okay, for example, they think that, at times they think that, we're US citizen, it's okay, we'll be able to get a job, at least we're legal, we'll get a job and we'll start studying, we'll do our education and, we'll go to university 3 days a week. I tell them, listen, get this out of your head. Life is extremely tough in the US. It's not what it seems. I was like, from distance, everything looks good. When people, you know what people think in Pakistan about Dubai? They think that money grows on trees here. Okay, they think that you are rich as hell. As soon as you come to Dubai, they're like, oh shit, he's in Dubai. You won't believe it. I have a separate Gmail account which I have for all my people on my Facebook who sent me their resumes for jobs and who've never contacted me in years. But since the time I moved to Dubai and they've seen my updates on Facebook, they're like, oh, this guy's doing well. Because how the hell, if he wasn't doing well, he cannot be out at all these places every night. He cannot be out. He's out every night. He's going to the best places. How? But the point is that, you know what? I hate it when people are like, oh look, you're so lucky, you've grown. No, you should ask me, how did I achieve it? And I'll tell you, how did I achieve it? Okay, don't say that, oh Nabil, you're very lucky, or we're very jealous. Don't be jealous, it's okay. Ask me. I'll tell you how did I grow. Because I'm not a hater. Okay, whatever you deserve in life, whatever I deserve in life, it's already written by God. So I cannot take something which you want or which you have in your name, which you will achieve in life. People have to get, what keeps Pakistan behind, especially Pakistani people and the community in Pakistan and here in Dubai? The community of Pakistanis worldwide. The only reason why, even in Dubai, what I've noticed, none of the Pakistanis, what keeps us behind as a nation, the only thing that keeps us behind as a nation, we can never be united. Why? Because of the fact that if one Pakistani gets into a company here, he doesn't want any other Pakistani to enter the company. He doesn't want. He's like, oh Nabil, they don't hire Pakistanis, they don't hire Indians. Oh no, I'm sorry, they don't have vacancies. Or he'll take your resume, he'll forward it to the HR, and we're so smart, I'll put that in quotes, that what we like to do is to, we're not sincere with our friends even. We take the resume, oh yeah, send me a resume. Yeah, here's my card, send me a resume. I'll definitely do something for you. And you know what I do? As soon as I get the resume, not me, but people in general, what they do As soon as they get the resume, they have high links. They obviously, being Pakistani, we're very diplomat. I think that runs in the blood. Okay, we're highly diplomatic people. Okay, but the point is that you know what happens is that what they do is that they tell their manager HR, you know what, Melissa, you know what, this is my friend, but he's no good, but he's been chasing me. Can you please make it look good? You know, just call him up and you tell him, being the manager HR, that we don't have vacancies. I'm sorry, but we'll keep your resume for the future. And that way, I look good in my friends. Hey man, look man, I did what I could. You know, rest is up to God. Yeah, right, because you just backstabbed him. You just told your manager not to hire him. This is the true reality of Pakistanis. I'm telling you. I hate to say it, I'm a Pakistani, but that's how it is. Okay? This is sad. You know, in Dubai, you know why Indians, and you know why Filipinos, Kabayan people, and you know why Arabic, regardless of any country, Arabic, as long as you're speaking Arabic, you know why? One Indian gets in, he gets all the Indians in. Okay, why? Because he knows that one man cannot run a country. One man can never conquer the world. Okay, not a single man in the world has conquered the world himself. He's always had an army. Okay, this is what the strategy of life is. But unfortunately, for us, for all in general, I wouldn't say 100%. 80% of the Pakistanis have the same mentality. They carry it, regardless of who they are. They carry the same mentality.
So what do you think is the cure for that?
The cure is that they need to take that out of their head. Whatever your growth is, you know what? You know why they do this? I can tell you why they do it. Because they feel insecure that this guy might just overgrow me. Okay, he might just take me out. My company might start hating me and take me out and hire him, keep him. Okay, that's wrong. What's gonna keep you is, look, if you've done something with your heart, God is watching you. Okay, He can see what you've done. Okay, but if you say it to people around you, oh, I've done this, then God doesn't like that. Your right hand should never know what your left hand did. Okay? And this is the simple philosophy, is that you need to keep down to earth, you need to have full faith in Allah. That is the only time you're 100. That is what Islam teaches us, right? Faith. What is Islam? Who is God? Okay, who is God? Do we know Him? Have we seen Him? No. Okay, who's Allah? We haven't seen Him. Okay, no, we haven't. What makes us Muslims? Faith. Faith makes us Muslim. It's faith. It's faith that there is Allah. Okay, He does exist. Regardless if someone's watching me or not watching me, Allah is watching me. Okay, regardless if someone tells me, Nabil, you've done a good job, Allah knows I've done a good job. Okay, it's that satisfaction that you need to have, and that can only come internally and mentally. How? If you're not a corrupt guy, if you're open. People say I talk a lot. You know what? I tell them, listen, I'm whatever I am, I'm on your face. Okay? And this is the people that people like to respect. It's people who are transparent. People who are transparent. Okay? I can never talk bad about you behind your back because I'm telling you who I am and what you are on your face. Okay? These are the people who people like. Yes, some people hate them. Why? Because no one likes the truth. No one likes the truth. Who likes the truth? I wouldn't like the truth. Okay, if you tell me on the beat you talk a lot on my face, I wouldn't probably like it, you know, I don't, obviously. But you know what I do? I think about it, I was like, listen, you know what? I'm not going to change for no one. They need to accept me and accept me the way how I am. I'm not going to change. I cannot change this because it's my nature, it's my habit. Nature cannot be changed. Looks can change. Looks, when I talk to, if I usually girls ask me, even my aunties ask me around me, all my aunties and my mom's friends, my friends' moms ask me, Nabil, what do you look for in a girl? What would you look for in a girl? Okay, in your future wife, what do you look for? What's your criteria? You know what I tell them? I tell them I don't care about, I give a rat's ass about the looks of the girl. I don't care how she looks. I don't care how big she is. Okay. The only thing that I care about is, I don't care how old she is. In our culture, they say that you have to get married to a younger girl. I don't care. Okay? What matters in life is your trust, your understanding and sincerity. And her interpersonal skills and her nature. Because she can never change her habits. She can never change the habit that she has or her nature. Her nature is by default. She can never change that. So if she's a nice, kind-hearted woman from the inside, she's sincere, she's loyal, she's a traditional wife, you know, and she traditional. I'm not a narrow-minded guy. I would always allow my wife to work if she wants to work. I'm not that sort of a guy. I would let her work. Why? Because my mom works, my sister works, my grandmother works, my aunties work, everyone works. All the women that I know in my life work. Okay? But what is traditional meaning? We believe in sincerity and trust. All relationships in the world are based on trust and trust. That is it, bottom line. I don't care. My sister's alone in Qatar. Okay, my mom invited my dad and I as an older brother. I trust her. We know. My parents trust me. Being the oldest son, alone, having all the money, knowing everyone, having the best contacts. Okay, I can. And I'm in Dubai. Dubai I consider to be a sin city. Forget Las Vegas. Forget Amsterdam. You can do whatever you want to do in Dubai. Okay, being a Muslim state, you can do whatever you want. But my parents know, and I know that the way how they raised me, they've done a good job. You know how? They raised me like a friend. They never raised me like a son.
Very good.
Okay, my parents always told me, Nabil, I remember I've only had one table talk conference with my family and my mom and dad. I swear, one conference in my life. And that was at the age of 12. Okay, and the day my mom sat there, my dad sat there, my sister sat here, I sat here. And you know what they said? Nabil, today we're going to have a 4-hour discussion.
What?
A 4-hour discussion. We literally spoke for 4 hours, non-stop. And in our house, we don't believe in dictatorship. My mom can never tell me, Nabil, don't do this. My mom can tell me, Nabil, she needs to reason with me. And she needs to give me a logical reason. In our house, you know what the rule is? You convince me or either I convince you on why to do it or why not to do it. I don't care if you're my mom, my dad. You have to convince me. If my mom says, no, don't do this, why? Because it has this. I'm going to think, I'm going to answer, observe, listen, think, and then reply, and then agree. Okay, she's right, she's right. She's wrong, she's wrong. I will have, mom, listen, that is how things worked in your life, but you have to understand my part of life as well. This is different. This is what matters, it's the bond, it's the understanding and the trust.
Yes.
That's it. My parents, since I've been in Dubai for a year and a half now, my parents have never dared to call me and ask me, Nabil, where are you, how are you? No. You know what I did? I made my mom a Facebook account, and I made my mom a Foursquare account. I gifted her an iPhone 4. I made her a Facebook account and a Foursquare account. That's all. I told my mom, listen, everyone hates the fact that I tweet a lot, I talk a lot, I tag everyone wherever I go. People hate that about me. But guess what? I don't care. It's my Facebook account. Shit, you don't like me? Take me off. One person, you removing me from my list, I still have 16 other people who are going to be my friends. Okay? I don't care. I literally don't care. I tell them on their face. Okay? Why? I made that account for my mom. People ask me, why do you check in everywhere? Shit, I don't care about you. Okay, I do it because my mom sleeps at night on time. Why? She knows who I'm with, where I am, what am I eating, what am I doing. Because I only gave her the iPhone for 2 reasons. I'm the only friend that she has on her Facebook account. Okay, why? Because that's the best way she can spy on me. Something that I love, I'm going to do. It's the best way she can know what I'm doing. She doesn't need to call me. Use technology to the fullest. Okay? So I got my mom high-tech. I trained her on the iPhone. I told her, listen, you only need to know how to operate 2 buttons. This is the Facebook icon, and this is the Foursquare icon. Click, you'll find where the hell I am, and who am I with. Okay? And that's it. You don't need to care. You don't need to worry. Go to sleep on time. And in our house, the rule is no news is the good news. If I die, my parents will get a call. If I get into an accident, my parents will get a call. If I get arrested, my parents will get a call. Okay, if I get deported, I'll end up going home. Okay? Anything, worst scenario in life happens, my parents will get to know. Right? Correct or wrong? If I like a girl, I'm not going to do a court marriage. Obviously, I'm going to tell my mom, I like this girl. And I want to get married. Simple. Point is, all the things that people are worried about, I'm going to tell my mom and my parents. So I don't like the fact that my parents don't have to babysit me. I'm an adult and they treat me like an adult, and that's when your kids will respect you, when you treat them like an adult and you give them space in life.
Yes.
Okay, that is why American system. That's one thing about the American system which I agree on. Even in relationships, even between girlfriends and boyfriends and even wives and husbands, even their kids and their parents, they give space to them. If they don't have to talk to the son for a week, they let him be on his own for a week. They know at the end of the day, they're the parents, he's going to come at home. Okay? But he's only gonna come home because he knows that, okay, look, holy shit, my parents didn't ask me where I am. I'm gonna go home and tell them where I am. I swear, that's how I am. If my mom doesn't ask me for like over a month or a week, you know, like, Nabil, what were you doing? She talks to me on Skype, but she doesn't ask me. You know, that irritates the hell out of me. Shit. That brain screws me. Okay, because my mom's not asking me where I'm at. I was like, Mom, you don't care about me anymore. You know? And then she's like, no, I do. I was like, you didn't ask me, what do I do all day? I don't need to. You post everything on Facebook. I was like, you still need to ask me, what do I do? Did you ask me what I eat? You know, do you care about your son? And then I make her, you know, guilty and stuff. So she's like, yalla, tell me, what do you do, man? Okay. Then she listens. She becomes a good listener. And I keep talking, and then I tell her. And I know she doesn't care. Probably she's listening. She's probably smiling throughout the time. Okay. The way how you're smiling at the moment. But she's probably smiling throughout the time. But that's all. I just want to talk to my mom. I just want her to know. You know? And what irritates me, and what would irritate any kid in the world. If their parents don't ask them what are they doing, where they're at. For a week they might like it. Holy shit, my parents are not asking me what am I doing. You know? But after a week they're like, why aren't they asking me what am I doing? They might just boycott me, they just might, you know, abandon me, you know, and so that's just crazy, you know. So